Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, and oh, this looks good up here.
Thank you. You should sleep.
I just thank you. I'm trying to kill this spider. Where'd you go up?
I did a thing I shouldn't have. I jumped onto the farmland, basically.
You didn't break it.
I did, and I got lucky.
Yeah, I saw you like disappear, and I was like, Hi, Enderman. There's a zombie coming for you. Behind you.
There's one over there.
I was watching from my bed. It's nice. Do you remember when they had the thing where the zombies would randomly wake you up in bed?
Oh, yeah. I wonder what happened to that.
It was probably so terrible they took it out. They were like, people hate this. They hate everything about this.
It was pretty annoying.
Well, especially when at one point they had a bug where your XP would drop out of you in such a way that it would lag the entire server.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, too. I do remember that, because I died. I had too many levels that just broke the game.
Yeah, I did that like 3 times in a row on the on one of the initial versions of the Minecraft server after they had done that. And I remember, I think Pack and Badge tried to fight the lag to get to like my house to collect all the XP so that the server was playable again. And then they left, and I immediately went back to sleep, not thinking that it could possibly happen again. And it like happened immediately afterwards. I got woken up by a zombie and killed right there.
Yeah, that was back when Minecraft was special.
Yeah, when it was more experimenting, doing its thing. People played it.
You made it sound like when it was a teenager, basically, when it was experimenting and doing its thing.
I mean, yeah, it's got to do a lot of things. It was its college days.
Yeah.
I mean, any long-standing game, you can kind of like that keeps updating. You can kind of take it through those paths.
Right.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Just rough days.
So these are the right number. As I run down here, they feel like these things are different lengths, but they're not.
You know, if we don't finish this before the aquatic update, it's not going to work. I don't think water breaks wheat anymore.
I mean, the aquatic update's already out, isn't it?
Well,
it's out in beta form.
Oh, yeah, it's out in snapshots. I mean,
we just have to keep the server at this level until we're done, and then we run it.
I guess we do, yeah.
Then we replan it and do it again on the new update and see what the hell happens.
Yeah, just nothing happens, basically.
We're like, that was fun. It won't break wheat anymore?
I don't think so. I think the water flows through the wheat. Oh, there are folks.
See you later.
Just broke some dirt that didn't really, or broke some dirt and the server didn't know I really did it. Oh, Lord. Hit water. Yeah, there's some of these things that are really annoying. Like whenever you hit lava, it's going to be super annoying. And like hitting all these lakes and stuff are super annoying. Having to fill them in first and then dig them back out.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be interesting now that I realize that we're going to hit this ravine and other pathways of this for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That ravine's going to be a problem. I did not even think about ravines because that did not exist the first time that this was done.
Oh, man. This is...
We haven't started releasing these episodes where we say we're going to do this yet, so I'm actually kind of curious what people's take on redoing this project is going to be.
Unsub.
I mean, they do that already.
That is true. That is true. And now I gotta build this whole thing. 3, 4, 5, 6.
I saw my CPA yesterday, and she was telling me about her son and how he's into Fortnite. Now, this is the first time I've actually met her. I've never actually had to meet her before.
Your CPA, did you have to redo your taxes?
I did, yeah. not redo, but just finalizing some 2017 stuff, basically. So yeah, I had to file an extension this last year because divorce and other things halted some things. So anyways, so anyways, I was bringing her some stuff she needed yesterday, and she was talking about because she always dealt with Crystal in the past. So I've never actually met her. And so it was our first time meeting, and she was asking questions about certain things. She's like, so what exactly is Twitch? And so try to explain it to her and everything. And she was like, my son plays this Fortnite game, and I won't let him touch my phone anymore because all he does is play Fortnite on it and all this. And then today I had to bring her in the laptop so she could get more shit from me. And she's like, so my son looked you up on Twitch last night. And it's like, okay, you're still my CPA?
She's like, I don't know, up for question.
Yeah. She was like, I asked him if he knew what Twitch was, and he was like, yes, Mom. So I thought it was kind of funny.
I honestly thought, like, I remember when I first started doing like YouTube videos, and I was like embarrassed to tell people I did them because it didn't make sense to me at the time that people would sit down and watch video games. But I thought I was some random nerd who liked to sit down and watch other people play video games. Like, so it didn't make sense to me. So I was like kind of hidden about it, and it's so mainstream now. I think people talk about it not knowing that I do it. They'll talk to me about like, oh my God, do you know that people like play video games online and make money? And I'm like, yeah, I have a channel myself. And they're more intrigued than anything else. Because I think it's like the allure of like money and, you know, possibility of things like that. I do randomly meet those people who still don't get it. And it throws me off for a minute because I'm like, I thought everybody got it by now type of deal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, there's definitely that group of people that, I mean, honestly, going back into the world of dating, that's been one of my concerns. Like, what do I tell women? Well, luckily I've met someone that totally understands and has a son that gets it too. So as long as I just got to keep her entertained at this point.
To make sure you don't have to try to explain this to somebody else again.
Right. I found one person that's, you know, my age and gets it. I was basically starting to think I'm just going to have to date 18-year-olds.
Oh, Julia definitely didn't get it when we first got together. I still question if she understands it now, and she's been to the conventions and things like that. But I think maybe it's because I've lived in the world for a while now. For me,
I've lived in the world my whole life. No, sorry.
Well, it's true. I just mean having gone to the conventions and gone to charity events.
Yeah. I was being a dumbass. I meant the world.
the world, the flat world, right? The flat world.
Well, yeah, this could be honest.
Of course, what other kind of world is there? But it's like and I guess this is a good analogy for myself to make and why people still don't necessarily get it is. I'm in the nursing world. I'm in the nursing informatics world now. I came from the IT world. I grew up, quote unquote, you know, I feel my early college days are kind of growing up with people. See ya. But early college days are still growing up with people because I was, you know, 17 years old when I joined college. Anybody I was surrounded with at that point, I was still growing into myself. And I was in an IT field and a computer engineering field. Everybody I was surrounded with was somebody who was very computer savvy.
Mm-hmm.
I am now in nursing informatics. When I first got into the nursing world, it was so crazy to me that nurses were not that tech savvy in general. And obviously there's tech savvy nurses, but in general, they're not the biggest tech savvy bunch in the world. I'm in the nursing informatics world now, and even my colleagues in informatics are not the most tech savvy people in the world because it's a different kind of tech that you learn for nursing informatics than you do for like IT and computer engineering stuff. And I still question that whole how that all works. That I guess it makes sense that people obviously wouldn't understand the gaming world still. Yeah.
I always wonder, like, when I tell someone, do they look at me like you don't have a real job?
Oh, God, I'm sure that people think that you don't have a real job when you do this. And, I mean, it's kind of one of those things about, you know, when people say, oh, you're just a nurse, but they don't mean it from the perspective of being just a nurse. You know, I've made the comment to our group before, the MindCrack group, and saying, but you guys don't have a real job. And I'm not saying it from the perspective of you don't have a real career and a life like that. I mean, you don't have a 9-to-5 obligation 5 days a week. You have a more sporadic obligation, but it's still your job. It's still your career, and it still takes as much time. It's just not regimented necessarily in the time frame like my quote unquote real job is. And I've definitely gotten people to come back to me and be like, I do have a real job, Jeff. You should know this by now. And I'm like, no, I'm not meaning to be offensive when I say that. I'm saying it from the perspective of you're trying to ask me if I can do something at noon on a Tuesday. And no, I can't. Like, because my real job, quote unquote, requires me to be there from 8 to 5 every day.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah, you're like crossing the line with that shit.
Yeah, it's not that I mean it in that way, but people all like, they'll say to me like, you know, we're implementing this new thing at our hospital that's called contemporary primary nursing, and what it's going to do is you're going to be making people a primary nurse for a patient, kind of like an attending physician for a patient, but from the nursing perspective. But not everybody's going to be like the attending physician. Not everybody's going to be the primary nurse. So we tell them, so you'll sign in as when it asks you what your relationship is with this patient, you're just a nurse. You're not the primary nurse. No, we don't mean this, that you're just a nurse because nurses are less, important than the primary nurse. That's not what it means when I say like, a real job versus being just a nurse.
Right.
Like it's not a negative, it's not supposed to be a negative connotation, but it does carry one when you say it in the wrong way.
Yeah. And I think that just comes from people being, us getting it from people who don't understand.
Right. Well, I'm sure part of it's people joking around because they know what I mean and they're just giving me a hard time, But then part of it is because they think that I'm one of those people who doesn't understand, and then they get even more mad when they know that I'm in the world that understands, and I'm still
right. You're supposed to know. You're the guy that's supposed to know.
It's like no, I don't mean it like that. I say that just to even it out for the layman, not for you.
Sleep.
Oh God. Sorry, passing through the ravine now. Give me 20 minutes, and I'll be back up this pathway here.
You should just carry a bed down there with you.
Yeah, that would be like easier on you.
And you're the one walking up here.
Don't worry, I'm at Y40, 41, 42, 43.
Thanks for the updates.
No problem. 42, 41, 40. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. It's going to be day by the time I get there, man.
There's a lot of mobs out here. Let's really just light this up. We gotta get a lot of glowstone.
Oh yeah, we should do another. When we get sick of digging, once I get this down to bedrock, we should do an episode of actually like glowstoning. Do something different than this.
I started digging out.
I'm in bed if you didn't see me come by the way.
Oh shit, I didn't know. I was killing mobs.
I thought you were aiming at me for a second. I was like, what the fuck? You told me to sleep.
I will kill you. I was trying to save you. They were coming right for you. God, what I was going to say. Oh, I dug. We're going to hit the ocean, and it's going to be awful.
Wait, are we that way to the ocean?
Yeah, we're going to hit the ocean.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we will. Hold on. Where do you think I'm at now?
Like that ravine you hit, that water that's coming in, that's the ocean.
But where do you think I'm at in the... Oh, yeah, you want to make this open top, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to hit the ocean then.
Uh-huh. I think it would look cool if it was open top.
Oh, I think it will too, but it causes a lot more of cleanup. We'll have to do a lot of gravel collection.
You know what? We can use our sponges.
By now.
We can use our sponges.
I don't know if you can use the sponges on the ocean.
Why not?
Because they're still gonna like start making source blocks next to each other. Right?
No. I put one in that when we were on a little island adventure. I put down a sponge and it just sucked a bunch of water out. So if you did enough, like you totally could do that. Yeah. It killed a bunch of source blocks.
Maybe. Okay, where do you think I'm at now when I get down to the bottom of this thing?
18, 19.
I should have dropped off my shit while I was there, and I did not.
Oh yeah, that's why I came back with it actually.
19.
Bam! I said 18 and I changed it to 19 even. God. That's what I'm about.
Guessing numbers in Minecraft. That's your real job.
It's my real job. Finally got a real job. Jeff admits it, y'all.
Oh, I just a quick update because I think this video posts soon, but it's just a quick update for you because by the time people see this is going to be well past it. The DC Board of Nursing website, they took away the transaction ID lookup in favor of just making you manually type in their transaction ID. But the problem is I think they realized that they don't actually ever give you the transaction
I was about
ID.
to say, you said they didn't give you that number.
And all of a sudden, as of yesterday, the Board of Nursing website was down for maintenance, so you can't renew
Jesus
anymore.
Christ. So no one's required to renew right now, basically, right?
They extended it, but I mean, I don't know if they're going to extend it more at this point because it obviously is some type of mess.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
I would bet they took away the transaction ID lookup, and I didn't go back through it to know if they did anything else completely differently to give you that transaction ID, but they probably had to shut it down because they did not, and they realized that got a lot of complaints from people who couldn't finish their
yeah, I paid, now what?
Yeah, exactly. I paid, and now you're making me give you a number that you never gave me.
This doesn't seem that hard.
You could have done it through PayPal easier.
Right. I mean, you could get it. You could use any credit card processing thing.
Yeah, it's almost like they tried to make their own credit card processing.
Right. That's what it sounds like they did, honestly. Yeah. What a mess.
Yep. Yep, I would say so. And who knows what that does for security risks? Like,
I wonder who got paid and how much they got paid. That's what my real question is in all of this.
Well, I could have honestly put in anybody else's transaction ID because I had the access to the list. I could have found somebody else.
That's true. I didn't even think about what you were talking about before.
Been like, that's my transaction. See you later. Take it.
And then it probably would have they wouldn't have been able to use their own transaction ID at that point, probably, because it would have been used.
I would bet you
they don't even check.
That it didn't even check.
I
could have probably put one of the rejected transaction IDs in there and been like, "Congratulations, you're a nurse again." Or, you're a nurse
again.
God, you're just a nurse, but you're a nurse.
You're just a nurse.
That's probably what would have happened for sure.
I wonder if does Julie ever have to go through stuff like this in the doctor field? That's just as dumb.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that they do, but I don't know about to this level. This level seems like ridiculous. It's the doctor registration is so weird because in some states, like I think in Virginia, it cost her $600 to get her license transferred to Virginia, but like to get a DC license, like a medical license, it's like $60.
Oh, wow.
So there's like just a ridiculous difference in the prices that you have to pay. Holy crap, I just opened up a wall and there was like 8 zombies waiting for me. And by 8 I mean 3, but it was scary.
By 8 I mean 3.
You ever watch Futurama? There's so many robots chasing us, I can't count them all. I think there's 3.
Oh god, I should go through and watch because it's one of the shows I started when it first came out, and I never kept up with it.
Oh, really? So you're not against Futurama? You don't find it stupid? You just never kept up with it?
No, I just never watched it. God,
it's so good. The problem is, it was one of those ones that it probably got canceled in its prime when it would have still strived to keep going. But a lot of shows did, like Family Guy and stuff at that time, and then they brought it back. They brought Futurama back years later, and it was good. And it got better, and then they canceled it again, and then they brought it back again, and it was very mediocre.
Huh.
So I still enjoy every episode, but there was a time when it should have just died and stayed dead.
Right. I mean, I really loved Family Guy back in the day too, and that's another one of those shows I just stopped watching. And
Family Guy, when it came back, it was like 10 times better comedy gold for a long time, and now it's very hit and miss now.
Oh, is it still on now?
Oh yeah, it's still on. And actually, the last couple episodes they did were terrible, absolutely terrible. I wouldn't want it to keep going like this, but I don't know if it's just a phase that they're in. But for years after it came back, it was, I mean, the comedy gold in writing of Family Guy. It definitely came back and made a splash. And so yeah, if you liked it,
is American Dad still a thing that exists?
I think so. I didn't get into American Dad until years after it was like it lost popularity because it was on Netflix, I think. American Dad is good. And it's off of Netflix now, but you can catch it on Hulu. And there's definitely seasons that I'm not sure if it's because they're new or I just never have seen them before. I didn't like look at them deep enough to pay attention to, are these new or are they just like ones that I hadn't seen? But American Dad is pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, I like that too. That's another thing I watched for a little bit and then just stopped. Because I think I got busy with work and stuff in high school and just stopped being a child.
Do you have Netflix? So I wouldn't suggest Netflix anymore because it's got less. Hulu seems to have more stuff. The problem is...
Wait, you would no longer suggest Netflix to someone?
That is correct. I would suggest at this point Hulu until Netflix get their shit together because...
See, that's the thing. I don't watch Netflix for things that have already existed other places. I think I've only watched Netflix original series.
So I guess if that's what you're watching, obviously you're not going to get that on Hulu. But Netflix got rid of, they had for the longest time a lot of things like they had American Dad, they had Family Guy, they had all this stuff that I could just turn on and have running in the background and be completely content. And then they got rid of all that stuff. And then any old shows I used to watch, like I used to watch Sliders, like as dumb as that sounds, I don't know if you've ever seen Sliders. I thought Sliders was great. It's about parallel universes and...
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen some of that.
I was rewatching Sliders because I've seen them all before. And all of a sudden, I was on like coming up on the last season and I had a notice on my Netflix that said, oh, by the way, this series is going to get taken down in 3 days. And finish it again.
It does suck when they do that, but I mean, they can only buy the license for so long. I kind of equate it to Lego. I wish I could still buy the Harry Potter series for Lego, but they only had a license for so long, and now it's out of print, and you can't get it anymore. But I mean, Harry Potter's still relevant. It's even though the movies and books are done or whatever.
I would disagree with that assessment, but go on.
You don't think Harry Potter's still relevant?
No.
Really?
No. I've seen the first like 3 or 4 Harry Potter movies and then I gave up and I don't think I've missed out on much in life.
I'm sorry. It's a really good story. Sure. I mean, okay, so do you think Mark Twain is relevant? No. Well, we can agree to disagree on this one. But I mean, okay, so do you think, I mean, I don't want to compare Harry Potter to, things that have been around forever, like Mark Twain or whatever, but I mean, do you think it's still relevant even though it's super old?
No.
Well,
like
so I guess
Huck Finn and things like that? No, that stuff is all about slavery? No, not relevant at all anymore.
See, I disagree completely. I think kids should read those things.
Why? To know how like they talk about a guy and they call him N. Jim the entire book and it's acceptable? No.
Why is that?
What does it teach you? What did you? The top 10 book list that you're supposed to read is full of garbage.
I don't know if Mark Twain is even on that.
Huck Finn? You don't think Huck Finn is on that?
It might be
that they want you to have like read in school. I'll be honest, when I had to read that in school, I had to get the Cliff Notes because not only is it like, and I didn't understand the racism at the time because I think it was like, 6th or 7th grade or something like that when I had to read it.
Wait, you didn't understand the racism in 7th grade?
No. It's not that I didn't understand the racism, and that's not why I had to buy the Cliff Notes. I had to buy the Cliff Notes because I couldn't understand it because the way it was written was
dialect?
From the dialect of this Southern, like, uneducated people was the way it was written in with the, the apostrophes. Like, it wasn't written in proper English by any stretch of the imagination. It was
right.
And I couldn't understand. I had to get the Cliff Notes.
I guess it's different for every person. Huh. Okay. Well, I think Harry Potter will be relevant for a long, long time. I think it's the stories that kids will be reading, and I mean, there's theme parks around this whole thing. Like, I think it's relevant. If you got a whole fucking part of Universal Studios that is dedicated to the world of Harry Potter, I think it's relevant for children, and so I think Lego sets could still be considered relevant.
But your Lego sets being considered relevant is completely different than.
That's why this conversation started.
I said I think the Lego sets still exist because they're relevant.
Huh?
Because you want the Harry Potter Lego set to come back. I don't think.
Well, that's what I said. I said I wish the Lego Harry Potter set was still relevant because it's relevant, and you said I disagree.
Oh, I thought you meant Harry Potter itself was still relevant.
Well, Harry Potter itself is still relevant.
I don't think that's the case. That's what I'm arguing against. I don't think Harry Potter in general is going to still be relevant in 5 years.
Oh no, you're totally, absolutely, 100% wrong.
Okay.
You think Universal Studios is going to shut down Harry Potter World in the next 5 years?
Okay, so it's relevant from that aspect. Well, but from that aspect, though, I don't think Mickey Mouse is relevant anymore either.
Oh, goddamn. What the fuck, Jeff?
And Walt Disney is still, like, based on...
Well, yeah. I mean, you realize the Disney Channel is still making new Mickey Mouse cartoons and multiple different types. Like, there's Mickey Mouse Roadsters, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. There's...
That I did not realize because I haven't seen Mickey Mouse.
Well, you need to get fucking ready.
I hadn't seen Mickey Mouse before for like 10 years prior to just going to Disney World.
Oh man, now you got your future. You don't even know.
It had only been new things. I didn't think it was still going to be based on Mickey Mouse.
No, Mickey Mouse is super relevant. Like children.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna know. You got.
I mean, that is the thing I'm curious to kind of see because at some point I will know if Mickey Mouse
right. I mean, I know how much you hate fun and Santa Claus and stuff like that. So you might deprive your child of Mickey Mouse too, but we'll see.
I'll try.
I know you will.
No fun in the Sano
Mickey
family.
Dad, we call him a mousetrap. Oh God!
We have to get giant mouse traps for that one.
Yeah, fucking rodent.
It's like a rat, Mickey Rat. That's what we'll call it.
Mickey Rat. God, he sounds like a gangster.
He probably
Mickey the Rat. Well, we're out of time at this moment, so
all right, guys. You guys tell me Harry Potter being relevant. No, I don't even think.
Oh man, God, you've opened a can of worms. This is worse than me talking about Star Wars. I think at this point you done fucked up, Jeff.
Star Wars is still relevant.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you guys.